It is Wednesday, March 25th, and it's 11:55 in the morning. There have been now reported 21 new more cases in Iowa. They had a first confirmed death in Iowa from the coronavirus. It was in Dubuque County. It was they said from 60 to 81 years old adult. They wouldn't name or they wouldn't say who it was. And now there are, I think it said 149 total cases in Iowa. So I just assumed the number to keep growing and growing with each day. And before you know it, I think we're going to see the whole state of Iowa shut down. We're going to have curfews to where you're only able to go out to get groceries, to go get food if you don't have any. Uh, anything else essential. So this is going to be a really hectic next couple of weeks. I had my first Zoom class and that went well, and that's a class that we're really hands on. So it's really difficult, but we're gonna try and get through it. Everybody seems pretty positive, so yeah, this is gonna be an interesting next couple of weeks. Uh, yeah, so I can see the total number of cases in Iowa by the end of the week, maybe 250, and that's just like that's a small number compared to what we have in the U.S. already. I don't know the actual numbers. My dad watches CNN, whatever news channel that's on that gives the statistics of how many total cases are in the U.S., how many deaths, are how many people are being quarantined in places. So this is going to be a very, very stressful next couple of weeks, as I predict, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope and pray that I'm wrong, but uh, I can only see the cases going and growing higher and higher. It's it's not gonna get any better. I was up at 4 this morning. Um, Carl Anthony Towns is a professional basketball player who plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he had an Instagram video posted. Um, his mom was put into a medically induced coma because of the coronavirus. His parents had symptoms. They both went in super early when everything was going on, and they got tested. His dad got asked to go self quarantine at the house. I don't know where they're at, but but his mom just continuously and progressively got worse. It's just her health was not getting any better, and they had to say it's time to just put her in a medically induced coma and just manage her breathing and her levels. And right now, there's still no word, um, but that is just a small fraction of how it can affect people. Anybody with moms that are anywhere older, 55 or older, and it's not even really just that specific age group. It's anybody. It can, if you have any kind of like history with issues breathing, or just any kind of, if you have history of struggling during virus or allergy seasons, and you finding yourself having to take a lot of medicine or a lot of different remedies to try and fix it. If you get the coronavirus, this is just my assumption, but you're not going to be able to fight it very easy. I have lymphangioma, and that's it's a disease that affects the lymphatic system, and I have less lymph nodes than the average person, probably a lot less than the average person, because um, just in when I was developing in the womb, just something didn't go right, and just all the lymph nodes around just this area. This is where a lot of your lymph nodes are. Um, they turned off basically. They're not there, or they're just not picking up on how to fight infections, fight viruses, fight different things, and when I was a couple of months old, I had to have emergency surgery because I had the size of about maybe a walnut or maybe even bigger, I don't know. But it was blocking my airway, and I had to have emergency surgery, and I have a scar, a tiny scar on my neck, and that's the only surgery I've had. But during allergy seasons and during times where there's viruses, when we had the H1N1, the swine flu, when we had when every case of influenza comes around every spring or winter or fall, when I get that, I kind of develop these, they're called angiomas or hygromas, and sometimes they hurt, sometimes they don't, but they can develop anywhere on my jawline, inside my lips, and then obviously anywhere dangerous is anywhere in my neck. My freshman year of high school, it was just after basketball season. I was fighting a little cold, and I noticed that it didn't go away ever, and I ended up just developing this massive mass right here on my neck, and I was super self-conscious about it. But I only get those when I'm really fighting something and my body needs something else to like just fight it off. If I get one of those things, it's my body telling me, hey, be extra precautious because there's something out there that's affecting your body a little different. So in a way, I have to be very, very careful because if I develop the coronavirus, I can get really sick. I honestly don't know. That's why I am I'm taking every precaution. I'm a kid that normally likes to, see, I just did it right there. That's a bad example of what to do. Another reason why I have to stay so incredibly careful and be aware of where I'm at and where I go is my dad's in a wheelchair. He's been in a wheelchair for over 31 years. He was paralyzed when he was 22. And just to make that, I'm 21. So I got until my birthday on June 27th of this year. I'll be the same age he was when he broke his neck. So I don't consider this year I don't consider it to be a very big milestone, but I just consider it to be like, wow, I got to reflect on where he was at 22 and where I'm at 22. Every day that I come in here, I have to make sure that I am completely disinfected. Like, if I go to Walmart, Hy-Vee, if I go out to Penn, just because I need to go and take care of some things there, if I need to help out other students get different supplies, books, food, if I have to go out and run errands for my grandma or other people that don't want to get out, when I get back, I have to completely disinfect and I have to get hand sanitizer, and I've never used so much sanitizer in my life. So this is going to be a very, very long process because it just seems like we all put our lives on hold. We can't continue with what we want to do, and this is our moment of, okay, we got to take a pause in our life and really reflect on what it means to be healthy and be sanitary. But this is during the virus with Seth Crook. Me, sometimes going to be featuring Ella. So Ella and I are going to go check out the hospital. We have our first confirmed case in Oskaloosa, or in Mahaska County. So that was a big yawn. But we're just going to go check out the hospital, see what it's like out there. I'm not going to go out and talk to people. I'm just going to go and get a couple clips and show you guys what it's like out there, because they have the military out there and they have the tents. So we're going to go check that out. We're going to we're going to stay in the car and limit ourselves, but we're just going to go out and see what it's like in town. Now that it is official, there is a case in Mahaska County. So stay safe. Another big yawn. Jeez. But yeah, we're going to go check it out. So I'm over here at entrance 4. This is the closest place I could, this is the closest the entrance is to my house. But as you can see, well, I can't flip the camera, I guess. But there's a sign that says stop, all patients must complete an in-car screening at door 1 prior to you entering here. So this is, I'm gonna flip the camera so you guys can see what it's like. They got a tent at the door, and they got all these others, but I'll get a closer look. So, all right, here we go. They normally don't have this big building here, and obviously they don't normally have these tents here, but yeah, this is definitely not normal and kind of a little weird. So, little update. It is Thursday, or no, it is Friday, March 27th. I didn't do anything really yesterday. It was my girlfriend and I's 2-year anniversary, so we were just kind of doing things our own a little yesterday and just kind of preparing for. She's getting ready to file for unemployment, and she's kind of heartbroken about that. But just a little update. Just from last night, there has been 2 more deaths. One in Poweshiek County and the other in Alamaki County, and they're both saying that the people that died were 61 and older. This is just it throws thoughts in your mind that you've never thought before, especially as a young person. My mom lives in Missouri. Like her health isn't very good, and I'm not near her, and it stinks because I can't be around her. But it was one of those moments where, like, wow, if something happened, I can't be around her. And I had a friend recently lose their dad, like, this week, and they can't have a funeral. They have to. The family and close immediate family is just grieving on their own, and it's just, I can't even imagine what I would go through if my dad or my mom got sick and the government tells you that you need to stay isolated. You can't be around those sick people, and it just really makes you put life in perspective, and how important it is to think about other people's health and other people's safety other than yourself. And then I've been thinking about others from the age I was 7. I had to put other people first instead of me, and this is just a time where I got to do that even more. And I think this is going to be a long process. I don't think we get back to way the things are normal for at least a couple of months. And I can't even begin to think ahead of what 2 to 3 months of staying in the same house and not interacting people from Penn. I look back as I'm really glad that I put myself in those situations to go to those Penn games towards the end, because that was the last basketball that really anybody got to watch. And I'm glad I got to witness William Penn win their conference championship on our home court. And it was, I look at those moments now, and I'm grateful for those moments, but now I'm thinking of, okay, when sports gonna come back up, but we'll figure it all out together. So stay strong. We'll get through this together.